This is what you've been doing with your money. Literally. That's what you've been doing with your money.
What is up, guys? Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Welcome back to my subscribers and welcome to my new ones. What it do? What's up? How y'all doing? How am I doing? I'm chilling, you know, surviving. I was drinking earlier, now I'm driving. Hey, Kanye. Anyways, I hope all of you guys are doing well and have had a good week. So today in this video, I wanted to focus on GBP. Two pairs I'll be analyzing just for this upcoming week, which is of course GJ and GBP USD. The British pound was super bearish this past trading week, which was very interesting. So if you took sells last week, then you most likely had pretty good profits overall. So I just wanted to quickly assess the structure of both GBPJPY and GBPUSD just to prepare for this upcoming week. I don't personally trade GBPUSD, but because there is some correlation with GJ, I thought why not just kind of analyze that as well. And as a disclaimer, of course, the way I analyze is just how I personally analyze. At the end of the day, we all know that the market will do whatever it wants to do. It can go crazy, it can be calm, whatever the case may be. So I personally just like to map out what, you know, might happen and just be prepared for as much as I can be prepared for. You feel me? I just like to be prepared, okay? So that being said, let us take a quick look. I'm going to start with GJ. So just on the monthly real quick, going to look at what has been happening on a monthly time frame. So you can see that September is extremely bearish. Right now, it looks like it's engulfing August's candle. So, you know, very bearish overall. And as you can see, kind of when I scale out, you can see that price is making that lower high, lower low structure, and current price action is abiding by that. It's following that structure. So very safe to say that we are in a bearish market right now. So let me go down to the weekly, get a better look. Okay, so yes, this was the drop. This is what we saw happen last week to GJ. My goodness. Holy. Let us see how many pips this was overall, because this was huge. I'm gonna see if I can make it accurate. Okay, so around 540 standard pips, so that's 5,400 micro pips. That is big, people. In 1 week, this is what GJ did. This is how strong it pushed down. So a lot was happening with the pound sterling. You know, if you want to look at the fundamentals, you can definitely, you know, Google, look up articles, why the pound sterling was so bearish, what happened, because this, you can tell, was all the pound. I don't believe that the Japanese yen had much news that would, you know, cause this to be so bearish. Like this, in my opinion, would be mainly because of something happening in the UK, pound sterling. Yeah, so that's kind of intense. So if we go down to the daily, so I think in my previous video where I analyzed GJ, I had a zone around here, and I said I was looking for buys because I saw this higher low, higher high structure on the daily time frame. But now we can confirm that, you know, it's more of the monthly time frame that price is correlating with. And of course, with higher time frames, you know, it's stronger. The bias is stronger. So if the monthly is showing something, then you know, you know it's gonna be serious. So it looks like price opened on Monday. It did push up, but then it pulled right back down, closed under this zone. And then the next daily candlestick, which would have been Tuesday, let me just double check that out. I just hit myself on the 8th. Yeah, so Tuesday, price had, let me zoom in for y'all. I don't know if this is too small. Yeah, but price had essentially, price had essentially pulled back up, retested this zone, and then boom, it dropped. And then we can even see that there was another zone that was made here. As you can see, price broke that, came back up, retested it, and then boom, broke again. So this was Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday it kind of exhausted out. So yeah, pretty straightforward market structure. Once this zone was broken and retested, then yeah, the bears were really showing that they were in the market. This is pretty structure for a daily, in my opinion. I like how this looked. Very straightforward, where you have that one bullish. So this would have been Monday, Tuesday. So Wednesday was bullish out of the entire week. This was the one day that closed as a bullish candlestick. And as you can see, if we're looking at this Wednesday candlestick, price opened, it did push down. It pushed down about 80 pips before it pulled all the way back. And the pullback was over 1600 pips, 1600 micro pips. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between micro pips and standard pips, but yeah, so that was a huge pullback before it just completely plummeted on Thursday. Okay, let's go down to the 4 hour, see some prettier structure, I'm assuming. Yes. Very, very beautiful. Yeah, you can see in a lot more detail that this is where price broke early on, Monday. This happened, and then Tuesday is when the real momentum came in, which makes sense. Tuesdays with GJ is usually pretty high in momentum, and then we see that pullback, that correction on Wednesday, price gathering liquidity to push further down. So very, very textbook. If you were able to catch this, if you were able to be fluid, let's say you were looking for buys like I was initially, but then you noticed that the buys were invalid. If you were able to kind of have that mindset to not marry your trade and not be like, oh no, it has to be buys, and you were able to be fluid and flexible, and you were able to just follow what the market was showing you, then and you took sells, then you were blessed this week. So as we can see, I can kind of see if I'm even just removing all this, because this happened in the past. I want to see what's happening now, going into the new week. You see that there was that zone again. There was a break and a retest, break, retest, break, retest. So right now we're at this current break and retest, and as you can see, price is falling away from that zone. So what that shows me is that we can very well be still bearish. There's a high chance. As you can see, these huge wicks, price did try its best to pull up and probably even try to push past this zone, but twice. So 4 hours times 2, that's 8 hours. So this was 8 hours worth of data where price was just not able to break above this zone. And as you can see, it's just been falling since then. And the lower wicks are much smaller than the upper wicks. So definitely I would be looking for sells this week personally. Not telling you guys to do that, but I would be. Oops. So when something like this happens, right, for me, if I'm here, if this is all I'm looking at right now, let's say this is, this is Tuesday that I'm looking at price. So price broke down. I see that it did break this area here. Let's say I did not know any of this happened yet. So this didn't happen yet, let's say, just to get a visual. So let's say I'm looking to enter a sell here after I notice that price broke below this area. And I'm trying to figure out where am I going to take my profits if price does continue down. Instantly, I have to look left. I have to see what happened in the past to tell me, where there is a likely chance that price might pull back, whatever the case may be. So in this case, when I'm looking left, this is what I see. I see this, and I see this, and I'm just using these horizontal lines for visual purposes. And I'm looking at this area here, where price had, broken up, retested, and broken up. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of where I'm looking to take my profit. And as you can see, price did push down. It did break this area. I'll look on the lower time frames to show you guys kind of what happened here. But as you can see, price did pull down. It pulled back up. It closed above this area, but then it was able to break down, and it did touch this next area before it pulled all the way back up. So this is important information, and this is personally how I like to study and backtest, and this is just what I like to do. If I see that there is no traffic at all when I'm in a trade, and it's going down, it's going down. There's no traffic, meaning this whole area here, I don't see anything happening. I don't see any candles. All the candles are above. Instantly, I have to look left. There's nowhere else that I can see to figure out, where should be my exit points. And it's important before you enter a trade to know where you're entering, where you want to exit both, whether it's in a loss or a win. So the best thing to do is to look left. So that's what I would have done in this case. And as you can see, if you did look left and you did map out this area, then you would see that price, this is exactly where price had pulled back before it continued down. So let's just take a look on the lower time frame just to kind of get a better idea. Yeah, so as you can see, price did hover around this kind of first area. This, let me scroll back, this area here. So price did hover around that area for a few hours before it was able to break down. And when it broke down, it came back up and then hovered again, and then it broke down to this area. So even if I were to remove this, I would see that this is a stronger zone, because every time price came back here, it pulled back strongly. You can see, even though when we had this kind of mapped out here, it did pull back. It was kind of hovering, but the moment that it went down to this area, it was a strong pullback. And then again, strong pullback. So this is a pretty strong area. So then, as the days continue, whatnot, September 10th comes around. What day was September 10th? That would have been Thursday. Once I see that, okay, price isn't able to pull above this area, this 138.250 or 138.300 area, it pulled back down. Okay, I'm looking at this area because again, I've noticed that of course this is a pretty strong, support area for looking based on the 1 hour time frame and the 4 hour time frame. I'm looking to see what will happen. So the moment price breaks down from this area, I'm looking for a retest, which exactly is what it did, because now this is my new level. This is my new zone that I'm looking at to see, okay, what price is gonna do. So that's currently where we're at right now, where price did break down, as you can see, and I'll go down to the 30-minute to kind of show you here, but I'll even map it out here. But basically price pulled down, it retested, and then it broke down again. So just simple break and retests of zones in a confirmed trend, which in this case it's a bearish trend. We're just following the trend. The trend is your friend until it ends. So again, it broke down here, hovered this area, came back up, same thing. So now what was once support is now resistance. So it's hovering below this area. So then, now I'm also seeing, of course, that there's this area, this zone, that we have to be careful of too. If price is able to break below this zone, I'm waiting for a retest and then enter here, stop loss above here, and then we're waiting for that drop. Simple as that. That's simply what I'm looking for. If I do not see that, I will not take the trade. I will not take the trade. And if we're looking at buys, you can kind of see that this is a range. So if you're looking, if you're cool with trading a range, which I personally try not to, you can see that if price is just doing this, then yeah, you can see what happens here and then, take your buy up, stop loss under here, under this zone. But for me, I'm just focused on sells until something else shows me otherwise. When I'm looking at these candlesticks, I'm seeing that there's less momentum to the upside and that it could be preparing to drop. Just looking at these wicks, the upper wicks are very long. So I'm waiting to see what happens. All right, so let me just clear some things up. I want to show you guys just kind of this area. I'm just going to go down to the 30-minute and show you what I was talking about. So yes, as you can see, break, retest. So I'm able to see this on the higher time frame just because I can read the wicks. But if you need more confirmations, then definitely go down to the lower time frames. This is simply just a result of chart time. Just analyzing every time frame and seeing what this means and what that means. Okay, 1 4-hour candle equals 4 1-hour candles. Okay, what does this mean? That's just a result of that. So I knew that there was some sort of bullish retest candle here before I even went down to the 30-minute. But it's always good to, that's what the lower time frames are for if you need them, just to see more information in your analysis. So, price broke down, as we said, came back to retest and then pulled back down. So yeah, so overall, long story short, let me stop blabbering. GJ is definitely, you know, in a bearish rally, looking just to follow the trend, keep it simple, and that's that. You can even see if we scroll out and we're just looking at kind of how the structure shows on the 30-minute, like this, it can't get any more simple than this. Like, it's just going down, down. That's all it's doing. So let us check out GU, see if it's doing the same stuff. I'm assuming it could be, but yeah, I'm curious to see. All right, beautiful. So we are on GU right now. GBPUSD, British pound versus the US dollar. So yeah, pretty similar. Right away, my eyes can see the correlation between GJ just in terms of the structure. We're on the monthly and it's doing the exact same thing, you know, where we saw that lower high, lower low structure, and it's just kind of continuing that. It's literally doing the same thing. So that's pretty cool to see. As you can see, again, GBP, huge bearish momentum, even with GU this past week. So this is what I briefly mentioned with GJ, whereas I was saying that the Japanese yen, I don't think that any fundamental news about the yen was the reason for this bearish momentum. And this is kind of confirming that, because if GU is doing the same thing as GJ, similarity is that it's both the British pound as that base currency. So that correlation just confirms that it was something to do with the pound sterling that caused this bearish momentum. Whatever news happened, whatever, you know, things happened with the pound, this is what caused it. So again, like I said, you know, do your own due diligence, research, look up articles if you want to know why exactly the pound was so bearish this past week. But you can see that right now in the monthly, it is very bearish, and there is essentially an engulfing candlestick right now. Mind you, we are only halfway through the month. This can very well pull right back up. We don't know. So yes, let's look at the weekly. Again, very similar, where we saw a doji candle. Same with GJ, I remember on the weekly. The previous weekly, so 2 weeks ago, was a doji, and then this past week was just straight bearish. So very similar. And you know, this zone being a very strong zone, very strong higher time frame zone here. Let's see on the daily. All right, so on the daily we see that, oops. So on the daily I see that, you know, after GU made this bullish rally and topped out here. Oh my gosh, my drawing, I'm sorry guys. Topped out here. It was straight bearish candles after that. So I'm assuming this was Wednesday as well. Was this Wednesday? This bullish September 9th, that was Wednesday, right? So again, very similar, where it's kind of like we saw Monday, Tuesday, bearish, straight bearish, and then Wednesday was that pullback, that bullish pullback, and then Thursday, Friday bearish. So GJ and GU are very similar. I like that. Well, right now they are, you know, I'm sure there will be times when they're not correlating at all, but right now they are. So after price kind of made that bullish rally, you see that break of this area, you see a pullback, and then you see a push down. Simple as that. I can't really make it any simpler than that for visual purposes. Yeah, so bears definitely in the market. Sorry, I'm making this analysis a bit quicker. You can tell that I like GJ more, but GU is doing the exact same thing. So this is kind of repetition to how I, again, analyze charts. So I'm looking now for zones. You know, we see that this zone was broken. We can literally draw zones from here, like just, and if you want me to get more technical, just to see the whole looking left type of part of it, you know, that, and then again here, and then now here. So it's pretty simple. This is very, again, like I said, textbook market structure. Beautiful, simple. If you see it and you're able to trade it and you manage your risk, don't over leverage. That's one thing as a side note. Just because the market is easy, quote unquote, to trade in, let's say, a week versus other weeks in the past, does not mean you have to over leverage. It does not mean that you should max out your account, you should over leverage, you should go all in. It does not mean that. Just follow your strategy, follow your risk management strategy, and it'll just boost your confidence. It'll help you just to build up your, return on investment, your profits, and that's it. And then, let's say if this coming week is a bit hard, it's a bit difficult because last week was so strong, then at least you know that you've bagged really good profits and it can hold you over. And you continue those same good habits into next week and the week after. And, even if next week is a losing week, then at least you've profited from last week and it's not a big deal. You're not going crazy. You're not kicking yourself or whatever the case may be. So that's my opinion. That's my kind of like what has really helped me, is realizing that it doesn't matter if it's an easy trading week or a difficult trading week. Keep the same risk to reward, keep the same risk management, keep your same mental level-headedness and just trade the market. Take what the market gives you, don't overtrade, and that's how you stay consistent, right? So if we're looking at current price action now, very, very similar, literally exactly the same as GJ. I would be waiting for price to break down, wait for that retest, and then go down, and then pull down. So yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. We can go down to the 1 hour and see. Same bias where it's kind of like, okay, if bulls were wanting to come in the market, I need to see, I need to see it breaking above. I need to see price breaking above this area. If I don't see that, then I won't believe that the bulls are ready to re-enter as strongly as, the bears are right now. So just simple, boom, 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 stop loss above here or closer, and then take profit, wherever you can find. And again, take profit if you don't know where you would want your take profit when you're kind of mapping out where you want to enter your trade. Look left, and let me go up to the 4 hour just to kind of help that. But yeah, look left and see, okay, what's going on here. This is why I like this cross one. What's going on here? Okay, so this is the recent area. If price breaks down a bit below this area, okay, then I see that there's this area. So I'm gonna, I can map out my take profit here if that's the case. So if that's where I want my take profit, let's say I put it here, then when I'm looking in real time, and I map out, okay, how many pips is that, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's 40 pips. Awesome. What's my stop loss? Da, da, da. Do whatever you have to do. So yeah, let's go to 30-minute. Yeah, pretty straightforward, just waiting for that break and just wanting to see, if there's momentum. This might not happen Sunday night. This might not happen Monday morning. This might not happen Monday night. You might not see that momentum come into the market until the week actually starts. Wait and see, the market set up. A lot of times we just have to wait for the market to set up, and once it does, then that's when, the trades just come to you and you can capitalize, and it's seamless and it's calm and it's chill, and that is the goal. But yeah, that is pretty much my analysis for GJ and GU. I hope it wasn't too long. I feel like I say that in every video, but I just talk a lot. I don't know why, but sorry. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you guys did enjoy this video, you like these type of videos, please let me know by smashing that like button. I would really, really appreciate it as always. And feel free to comment down below. Let me know what pairs you are looking at this week. What pairs have you forecasted? What are you waiting to see? Do you like GU? I kind of like it, but me personally, I'm going to still focus on GJ because it looks like it's pretty similar opportunities. So why not just focus on just GJ, put all my attention on that. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free to check out any of my other videos on this channel and my other channel. But I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you have a great mentally and physically healthy day, week, and life. Bye!